G'day everyone, Wesley here from Trusted Pest Management, coming at to you for a how to do a termite inspection. We are in the beautiful city of Brisbane, and today I'm going to walk you through how we at Trusted do termite inspections on your home. This also is a video to give you the information that you can use to actually check out your own home. So please feel free to use this information, like it, share it, but also empower you to inspect your own home. If you're a pest controller and you're watching this video, this is how we do things. Everyone has a different way, but this is over my 20 years of experience, what I've learned. So I've got my trusty cameraman with me, and we're going to check out this house. Go. So I like to move clockwise with my termite inspections, just so I guess you have that start and finish point. So you can go anti-clockwise, doesn't matter, but whatever suits you. However, I always tend to start on the outside with my termite inspections. I obviously introduce myself to the client and ask them if there's any problems, but I like to start on the outside. Why? Because it gives me the bearings of the house, and then also looking for any external pressures such as leaking taps, tree roots, garden beds and whatnot. So that gives me information for when I move on the inside. But come with me. One thing that I always check at the start is the electricity box. Now, why do I check that? It's because if there is any information regarding previous termite treatments or anything termite related, the council bylaw is that you put a termite notice sticker in the electricity box. Now, I've checked this electricity box and there's actually nothing in this box. What that means is actually refers to the age of the house. This is an older property. I dare say it was probably built in the 80s, around there. So the termite protection that was installed would have definitely expired. However, if you've built a house, let's say from 2000 up to today, you will definitely have a termite notice sticker in the electricity box. So it's a great place to start. See what protection was done on the house, see if it's current and what product was used. So we're going to keep moving our way through. So I've made my way around, and an area to always look for is air conditioning systems. So if you actually follow me here, you can see this here. This is what we call a discharge pipe. Now you need to be careful with those discharge pipes, because a lot of the time these discharge pipes actually disperse next to the house. This owner has been quite conscious when it comes to moisture, and they've actually connected it in to the drainage. So that's a really good point. But if you have an air conditioning system or a hot water system, which we'll see on the other side, look for that discharge pipe. Now, while I've got your attention, here what I'm actually looking for is the concrete slab. You can see here that the brickwork actually goes down to a footing, and this slab retains up against the house. Now this is actually dangerous because termites can actually come through the brickwork. And one thing to point out here, I can't actually see any previous signs of termite treatment. So what that indicates to me is that possibly this house has never had a problem, but there's no protection here stopping it from having a problem. So if the new standard brickwork is actually built on the slab, so we have that edge. So this is actually dangerous. It might not look it, but it is. Now I've made my way down the side of the house and I've come into the back garden. So I'm actually going to check this as well. So once again, working clockwise. So we've got the metal shed here. We've actually got a colour bond fence. So let's be honest, termites aren't going to eat into a colour bond fence. But I do know on this side we actually have a timber fence, but we'll come around to that. So what we're going to do is actually going to bring ourselves to the back of the property. We're behind the shed, and of course, look what we've found. We've got stored wood in contact with the ground, and then you can actually see that this is all old termite damage. Now, anywhere where you store wood in contact with the ground is a source of food. So the best thing here is actually to get rid of this. This was actually an old timber fence line, and that's why it's actually got this old damage. Now, storing it behind the shed, yes, it's out of sight, but it can actually cause a problem. So it's not out of mind. So the best thing here is get rid of that timber. Now we're back to the house itself. You can see here that we've actually got no concrete slab, we've just got soil. Now this is actually fine, there's no problem here. If there was a garden bed, I would obviously have some concerns, but this is okay, it's quite normal. The one thing that you do need to be cautious of is your weep holes. It's very important that you don't let either mulch or grass build up over these weep holes. Why? This is designed to make the block brickwork breathe, but also it could actually get concealed entry of termites. So you can see here, there's a few gaps along the way. So it's just important that we always keep that nice and mowed. Now, if you come with me, keep filming. We're going to come into our fence line. So you can see here, this fence line is quite old. I dare say it's actually been the original fence line. Now, there's actually old termite activity in this. Now, it doesn't surprise me, to be honest, because once again, anywhere where timber touches the ground, it's like a bridge, so termites can get in there. So how can you solve that? One, visually checking. Two, you could actually cut your timber palings so that they're off the ground, so that bridging doesn't occur. Or three, you could actually either do some form of treatment along there. But listen, in terms of cost benefit, just trimming it or keeping it above the ground is the best solution. As we've come around, we're on the other side of the house. Now, I spoke to you before about weed poles. See this weed pole here? It's in level with this concrete slab. So that means that it actually could indicate or you could get concealed entry, because ideally you want this weed pole up here also, so that you've got what we call an exposure gap. Now, you don't have that here because of this external slab. Now, this is very common, but it's what we consider a risk towards possible termite entry. Now, what's the solution? Well, the most expensive solution is trying to bring that slab level down, but that's not the cost benefit. The cost benefit is one, thinking about a termite protection around that area, or two, having your house regularly checked. Here we are with our hot water system. You can see that this downpipe goes into an actual drainage system. That's awesome. I must say, you don't come across that very often. But where these become a problem is when they start to leak. The valves in here weather away over time with the heat, and then you get moisture leaking. So here it's fine because it actually goes into a lawful drainage point. But a lot of the time that drain's not there, and you get moisture building up in this area, and that means termites can enter your house, and that's what you don't want. Having fun. Now, that's the main thing when you're doing a termite inspection, but it's also looking for termites. And now you can see this here, that's what we call mudworkings. Now, this is actually old damage. You can just tell by how dry it is, and also the fact that there's no termites there. But if you follow my screwdriver here, you can see how they've come up, made their way up and into that timber. Once again, very normal, but what it indicates is that there are termites in the area, and the main thing that you want to protect is your house. So listen, check if you've got any termite protection going on. If you've got the pressure of termites in the area, it's really strongly recommended that you consider termite protection around the house, and we'll talk about that at the end. We've done the outside, it's now time to inspect the inside. Now, the thing is what tools do you have with you when you're doing a termite inspection? Now, trusted pest management technicians have a moisture meter. These are the Termite systems. These are really good for measuring moisture for shower trays or any possible activity. We've got our thermal FLIR imaging camera here. These are great for detecting heat. So heat exchanges and temperatures of different heat behind walls. We've also got our tapping stick here. These are really important. It just saves us from getting down on our hands and knees. A screwdriver, a torch, a double torch, and a positive attitude. Inside, we're going to do that clockwise technique. So start on one side, move our way around the house. And with our inspections, it's really important that we tap our skirting boards, and we also use our hands. We do pressure testing of the walls, the timber frames, of the doors, the windows as well, using your torch, using your moisture meter, using your FLIR device as we go through as well. When I'm actually in the kitchen area, I always check the kitchen cupboard for pest control notices, and it's a great way to see what services are being done, if it's pest control or inspections. And the awesome thing about this is actually our old branding, Trusted Pest Management, but we were last here in 2012. Can you believe that? It's actually May 2012. That's 5 years ago that the last time these guys had this termite check. Now, I don't recommend you waiting 5 years. You want to have your house checked every year, But this is a great source of information for you when you're doing that inspection so that you can relay that to your client. 5 years is a long time. We've made our way through the rooms and we're coming up to the bathroom. So we have our shower tray here. Obviously a bathroom is considered a wet area, but where moisture can be picked up is in the walls behind the shower tray. So that's what we're going to do. We've got our setting here and we're just looking for any moisture that might be unusual. Now I must say also I did my skimming before and I didn't notice any flaking or any discoloration or anything that could lead to moisture coming through. So this is actually giving me a reading that there is no moisture coming through this wall. So that indicates that the shower tray is sealed properly and also that there's no cracks or crevices for water to get through. Just engaging our thermal imaging camera here. So I'm just using that to scan for any heat marks. Now I must say this side of the house has the western wall, so you can imagine that that wall is a lot warmer. So these, my opinion of thermals is they are good. It's just that they're another tool. Don't ever rely on solely on these things. To be quite honest, having your tapping stick and your torch and years of experience is where it adds to. This just gives you that, I guess, that extra peace of mind if you're happy or not happy with an area of a house. Now I'm going to show you how to pressure test. So using your hands is really important in an inspection. So I'm going to bring you here. I've done my tapping of the room, but now what I'm going to do is actually pressure test the window frame. Now the reason why we do that is because you can imagine termites eat the timber from the inside out. You'll never see them from the outside in. And what that means is if we run our hands over that and we find that soft piece of timber, we'll put our finger through it or we'll actually just notice something unusual. Now, not to be mistaken with rot as well. Dry rot can occur, but why is dry rot happening? Because of moisture. So actually running your hands over the frame is really important to do. It's time to now head up into the ceiling. Now the reason why we head up into the ceiling is to obviously check the condition of the ceiling, but we're looking for a couple of things, say rodent activity, water leaks, and also termite activity. Anything that's just unusual. So I've got my ladder here, 3 points of contact at all times. I've got my head torch, my torch, and other tools to help me whilst I'm up there. We are in the ceiling coming at you. Now this ceiling, what I'll do, I'll get you to pan with me. You can see here we've got our insulation. Now, unfortunately with insulation, it does, you can see here, like look at this, we've got our timber bottom plate here, or top plate actually, but you can see how the insulation covers or visually restricts the inspection. So I must say, insulation does, I guess, cause some frustration at times, but it still means we can still get in here and have a look. So I'm going to be searching around looking for anything unusual. I must say with insulation it's good from that perspective because if there is a leak you'll get a stain, like a wet patch in the insulation, so that works. But I'm also looking for rodent activity. Now actually these are great. You see this is actually a downlight housing. Rodents will actually gnaw into these things, so we always check those. But also just from a safety tip, make sure that you've got your insulation away from the downlight housing. But I'm going to make my way through here and check it out. We've come to the end of the inspection. I can give the good news that I haven't found any active termites in this house in Wellington Point, nor have I found any past activity into the house. I have found old activity into the fence line and also at the rear. But the big thing to note about this place is, yes, there's no termites, but there's also no termite protection. So what that means is that at any time, tomorrow, a week, a year, 10 years time, termites could enter this property. Now, it is my duty of care and I legally have to recommend a termite barrier. Because there's no protection here and I'm the professional, it would be silly for me not to make the suggestion of doing a termite treatment. Now the facts are, termites attack 1 in 3 homes. They cause roughly $1 billion damage each year to housing. So it would be wise for the long term for this place to have a termite protection installed. Now, what product does Trusted currently use? We use the best product on the market, which is Termidor. Termite has an 8-year life expectancy. It has a unique characteristic of transferring that product back to the termite nest. There are other products out there, however this one stands out on its own with the research and also time. It's been in the market for quite some time. I think it's even coming up to 20 years. And I know that my father, Tudor's Pest Control, and ourselves haven't had a failure from the product. Okay, this product hasn't failed. Now, what I suggest if you're watching this video, please think this. When was the last time you had a termite inspection? If it was longer than 12 months, engage with your local pest controller or us. Also think, what termite protection do I currently have? Is it a new home, an old home? But I guess anything. If you're not sure, engage a professional like us at Trusted, because peace of mind is the key. And spending $250 for an investment where the average house in Queensland, that is $640,000, $250 is minuscule. It can save you thousands. Thank you for watching this film. Thank you for Brian for helping out. Love you all. Have a good day. Hello everyone, Wesley. Just finishing off this inspection video. Now that we've done the inspection, it's really important that we do the reporting. That's Einstein in the back. But this is Trusted Pest Management's reports. They will be emailed to you, okay? But this is just a hard copy just to show you what we can do with our inspections reports and how detailed they are. Obviously, you can see the house there that I was at this morning. We have our conditions here. We have an outline of what we inspected, the ceiling area there. We've also gone through, was there termite activity found? No. Was there past activity found? Yes. We give photos to all of that. Pretty good. The electricity box that indicates obviously previous treatments. The conducive areas, these are really important just to obviously understand the risk of the house, and you can see how they're outlined there, all nice and pictured. So now the other thing that Trusted Pest Management does is, what we also do is recommendations. So when we do an inspection, it's really important to give you an update with regards to the termite protection to the house. But if it does need recommendations, what are they? So here we are. We have our comments and recommendations section. This just outlines obviously trees around the house, your shower grate, make sure that you keep that up to date. But nice and simple. Timber wood to be removed, the tree roots to be looked at, either put in a root barrier to replace the fence with a non-timber product. But we come to our termite protection. So here I've got our proposal, our outline, the perimeter, the treatment that's involved, what we do, the pricing, and also our guarantee that we give. So Trusted gives an 8-year guarantee for our products, and obviously an outline of the chemical there. We have a satisfaction guarantee, so if you're not happy, 100%, if we don't fix it, you get it for free. Hear that? Free. But that's it. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, do whatever you need to do socially. We really love this business, and we love you.